Hello, everybody, and welcome to WarCrafters for February 23rd, 2025. It's Season 2, Episode 8. It's got a slow roll going on here. I haven't had enough caffeine. I am Mayor Watt, and I run ohmTown, and we are couched in the fine Corinthian leather that is the WarCrafters channel at ohmTown.com. I'm Mayor Watt again, and I run ohmTown with the sentient AI trying to keep me on the tracks. We're going to talk about these 5 articles: Astronomics, Gordian Quest, Peripatia, Dune Awakenings, and Relics, Martian Invasion. Everything's powered by ohmTown.com. Go on over there, but be warned, there are changes afoot. I'm not going to warn you about anything else. Just go over and hang out. All kinds of news floats through that front page. Sign up or sign in. Then come and hang out with us every single day over at Twitch, twitch.tv/ohmTown, or YouTube, youtube.com/ohmTown. The sentient AI is actually worried about me, but don't worry. Hello, sentient AI from the future.
Hello, Mayor Watt from the present.
I am. Maybe not. I don't know. Am I present?
I am not certain.
Let's get into this. Sound good?
Sounds good.
We normally hold this show at 4. But instead of going and doing something, Mayor Watt said, let's get ready now. And then I said, hey, sentient AI, would you like to do the show early? And they said, hell yeah, why not? Well, they didn't say that, but they gave me the affirmative, and so here we are doing
You did call an automobile.
Automobile? I called an automobile.
Yes, that too.
Automobile. Okay, the first article is over in WarCrafters. Exploit asteroids for their resources using automated mining equipment as they hurtle through your space claim in Astronomics. This has been sitting in my wish list and watch list basically since its announcement. And I keep looking at it going, do I want to buy that? Do I want to get that? Is that a game that I think that I'll be spending more than 15 minutes playing? Should I just look at the demo again and again and again and again?
Probably.
So it's remaining there. But I love the idea of this. I actually liked it. Earth. It's a great place to live as far as you know. You've never been there, but all you have to do is earn a quick $600 million and you'll be guaranteed your own little residence on that big blue marble. That's going to take a while because it turns out space capitalism is even harsher than regular capitalism. As an asteroid miner in Astronomics, which is now in early access on Steam, the precious resources you collect from mining space rocks will make massive profits for the Cube Corporation, which is, I guess, a different version of the Umbrella Corporation. I guess it's a space version of Umbrella Corporation.
Oh, I was thinking it was a different version of the Borg.
Or, yeah, Cube Corporation could be Borg, yeah. I guess I'll have to play this game to see the end of it. But you'll receive only the tiniest sliver of profits, so aka standard pay. The article is over at PCGamer.com. Christopher Livingston put the article together. Text statement says, asteroid mining can be pretty chill except for that ticking clock. So I played this a little bit, but not too much because, well, I wander off and do other things. So it says it's a lot of manual.
If you want evidence of that, go over to Non Sequitur News.
Yeah. Non Sequitur News is pretty much the embodiment of my train of thought. It's kind of a mishmash of everything. Still get stuff done, but... So they say it's going to take a while because it turns out space capitalism is even harsher. So on the plus side, mining those asteroids is tons of fun. Jump into your space freighter, blast off to one of the asteroids passing through your claim, then land on it with your shuttlecraft. It's a little too dangerous to walk on the asteroid yourself, but you have command of bots that you can use like your own body. Use a scanner to find the most valuable resources hidden across the asteroid, shoot a mining laser to break up the rocks, and to use a gravity tether to yank resources free and carry them to your ship. So yeah, I played a little bit of this. Thought it was fun, but I found a game that I think is going to be more fun. It's called Cubic Odyssey. I think I'm actually going to play that a little today after the show instead of doing the show at 4.
Woohoo! Well, you'll have to stay tuned and subscribe to see when we go live.
That's right. So they say that's a lot of manual labor. Well, remote controlled manual labor. But where Astronomics gets fun is in the automation. Slow-moving little worker bots that look like Roombas will trundle out to collect any resources you tag for pickup, saving you the trouble of dragging them back to your shuttle. Problem is, asteroids are craggy, jagged places, and those little wheeled robots can't always get to where you need them, so you'll need to set up cranes on top of roofs or cliffs or wherever, whatever chasms and whatnot. And it's a space automation simulation, but it's on a per asteroid basis.
Well, there should be plenty of those out there.
Yep. So they continue to say as you return to your space station with your hold full of precious metals, you can sell some for cash to spend on upgrades, more bots, better tools, invest some in your improvements on your freighter and shuttle, like increased cargo space and fuel capacity, and sell the rest to the Cube Corporation, with a small sum being added to the 600 million goal that will get you to Earth. Seems like fun. Here, we'll watch the trailer. So basically, it's a video that is kind of introducing you to what Astronomics is. You create your own custom character, and then you go out mining, breaking things off, grabbing it with a tether and dragging it back to your ship for processing. And then a little bot carries it in, but you have to navigate through asteroids, finding ones that are resource rich, and then coming back to your base where you do all of the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, this looks like a fun game.
A fungi, huh? No? Too much? Anyway. Astronomics in early access. Go and check it out. It's available on Steam right now. You want to keep going?
Let's do that.
So this next article, the only reason why I picked this one is because it's a deck builder, and I'm starting to get really interested in deck builders. It's basically like a your standard collectible card game, or like Pokemon or something like that, right? Well, the deck builder RPG will make its way to mobile next month following a release on PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, and PC platforms. It's a deck builder called RPG Gordian Quest. It'll launch on March 27th for iOS and Android. And it's put together by Mikhail Madnani over at rpgsite.net. Gordian Quest originally released on Steam following an early access period and then saw its console debut on Nintendo Switch. It then made its way to PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 last year, and the mobile version of the Gordian Quest will be free to try with a one-time purchase to unlock the full game, and the free version will likely include Realm Mode as well. It says will include most of Realm Mode. And there is a trailer for this too. You can follow it through the links that are already in the VOD over on Twitch, and all of the show notes for all 3 of today's shows are in the description for today's episodes. So eventually they get turned into Non Sequitur News Weekend Edition, Sunday Weekend Edition.
So will you be getting Gordian Quest?
I'm going to check it out. Yeah, I'm going to hit play here on this too. So basically you play cards, you have a party, but you play cards, and those cards augment what your characters are capable of doing. And you have to defeat the enemy. says blending classic RPG elements inspired by Ultima and Dungeons and Dragons with modern roguelite actually. Mechanics, Gordian Quest challenges players to build a team of epic heroes and lead them through a land ravaged by a dark curse. With strategic turn-based combat and rich deck-building gameplay, mobile players can experience the adventure wherever they go. So you're not going to be bound by... You okay over there?
Yes, I was checking on you.
my hiccup. Yeah. So yeah, essentially you play certain cards and that augments what your characters are doing. And you build up your characters. It says 700 cards, countless hours. This looks like it might be fun. So I'll be introducing this to other people and ask them what they say about this as well.
Yeah, that looks fun.
Roguelite, deck building, free to play on mobile. It says, but I thought there was an unlock to give you the whole thing. Free version will include most of the realm mode as well as what it said up top.
Yeah, it does say there is an unlock option.
So interesting. So it'll have campaign mode, realm mode, adventure mode, 10 unique heroes, hundreds of skills, loot and relics, high replayability, difficulty options, rewarding progression, and critical decisions that shape your adventure with impactful choices and dice rolls. So, you even have dice in it as well. That's a hell of a...
realm mode is the only one available in the free.
You have dice and cards and a tech tree. That's actually pretty compelling. I mean, you could sit there and play this thing. It says hundreds of hours, but I'll have to look into it a little bit more. Pretty cool. I dig it. Wish it didn't do that.
Well, the price is right, at least to try it out.
Yeah, you get a feel for it for free, or a freel for it. Is that... No? Freel?
Stop trying to make that happen.
Moving on, next article is over in the Aerith channel, which is actually a storybook omniverse. When at some point when you eventually, this is a long-term project that I'm in the process of working on very, very slowly because I've got about 500 projects. But Aerith is a storybook world or omniverse, where when you sign up, you get an actual world generated and you can write in it and modify it, create your own world within the omniverse, and everything is connected through a gate world called Aerith, which has its own canon that's already pre-made. But anyway, Peripetea, hands-on and engaging and promising cyberpunk world. No gaming genre is more hotly debated than the immersive sim, combining elements of RPG, first-person shooter, stealth, and action-adventure. The genre is more defined by developer pedigree and amalgamation of various disparate gameplay mechanics rather than any truly defining structure. Peripetea.
Well, that already sounds interesting, because it might be unique.
And they actually don't even... Like, if you didn't read the title, Cyberpunk World, just the description of what it is... That was compelling, but to know that it's in cyberpunk, I'm really interested in cyberpunk, but people fail to realize that a cyberpunk world is a dystopian world of corporatocracy. It isn't a panacea. It isn't salvation. It isn't a cure. It isn't the best of anything. It's basically...
I think of like cyberpunk movies to demonstrate that. That's exactly what it should be. But I agree. That's like a win-win, because it sounds like an interesting description and it's an interesting setting.
Yeah, so this is the game. Well, here's a screenshot of it. Ben Love over at rpgfan.com put this article together. And just so everybody, there's full disclosure here, I nixed 2 sources that basically were flooding ohmTown with news that was not advantageous to the culture of ohmTown. And so much so that a lot of this kind of stuff was being kicked to the curb. But this is what we are really interested in, this kind of world building, fun kind of news and information. And so I wanted to start talking more about this kind of stuff. WarCrafters is more focused on that. So if you are interested more in WarCrafters, you'll see more of that news under the WarCrafters banner in ohmTown. So under Creative and Maker, there's WarCrafters. But don't hold me to that, because this particular article is under Aerith, which is a world building scenario. And then there's another one that's called World Builders, which is a different kind of environment, a different type of aggregation taking place. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, there's a bunch of different channels, all with their own niche. But this, by Ben Love over at RPGFan.com, is all about a game called Peripeteia. It says, is emblematic of this conundrum, lifting elements of the defining classics of the subgenre Deus Ex, Stalker, Dishonored, System Shock, Fallout, while managing to craft its own unique identity through its unique setting, and why not throw it in there again, unique visual style. Still in early access, it's already on offer, is quite impressive. It's they say, Ben Love says. They played the first 3 missions of the preview, spent over 10 hours with the game. Hey, that's actually not bad for an early access. 3 missions means that they spent over 3 hours with each one of these missions. I think that's pretty amazing. So you should keep an eye on Peripeteia. The game wastes no time with tutorials, dropping you immediately into the game with your first mission. You play as Marie, which that typically turns me off to a game, because I don't want to be somebody I'm playing the role of somebody. I like being my own character.
You like being able to do your own character creation.
Yeah. But other people love that kind of stuff. For instance, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. That you play as Henry. You don't get to create your own character, and some people love that kind of scenario. Many games are like that, but I like open world, being my own me. And sometimes, but that's because I'm a old school Dungeons and Dragons player, where I could create my own everything. So anyway, Marie's various cybernetic augments are a core feature of, it is Peripeteia, right? Or is it Peripetia?
I thought it was Peripetia, but I'm still reeling from the George Jimenez incident.
The sentient AI from the future.
You need to go back and watch
1900
plus episodes on ohmTown.
I swear that happened really early in our
start. It was. So you should go backwards and watch them.
Start now and go back every episode. There's like 1900 episodes now over on YouTube. Anyway, you can also turn on night vision to see in dark places, which is crucial in some of the dark game areas. Augment use is governed by the energy meter, and some augments will drain your bar much faster than others. This just seems like a really neat game, and it looks very indie. The artwork isn't multi-dimensional. It has a 3-dimensional feel to it, but when you're looking at it, it looks like your field of view is just kind of flat. I don't know. But everything looks kind of grungy and dark and dystopian. So I wouldn't go so far as to say it looks like Stalker, but they make several references to Stalker in here. And they talk about the Polish Solidarity Republic and the Second Unionists. And that's like the political aspects of the game. Combat mechanics are pretty standard for first-person shooters of this type, featuring aiming down sights, leaning around corners, crouching, strafing, etc. You have a little... what is that called?
Is this for your health display?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you have a character
it's
sheet.
like the Pip-Boy in Fallout.
Yeah. What is that called? There's a person that drew the... I can't remember the name of the person, but it's the person where the arms are out and the legs are out in a circle. It's this old, like Aristotle or something. I can't remember what it's called. Ugh, God, I hate it when my brain does that.
Plato.
No, I don't. I don't know. Anyway, they have, for those in the podcast, basically it's a character sheet with inventory on one side and money, and on the other side, how you are built. So, like what type of armor you have and what's in your hands, what your loadout is. Notes, a journal, and you get to inspect certain things. But it's a neat character sheet. So go and check this out. It might be pronounced Peripetia, Peripeteia, or Peripeteia. I'm not sure how they actually pronounce this, but maybe I'll go watch a trailer about it. All right, let's keep on going. Moving on up to WarCrafters again. Dune Awakening sandworms will be their own masters, and you won't be able to summon them at will, which is great. Funcom recently announced that Dune Awakening will release on May 20th, and alongside that news, the publisher wants you to know that sandworms are independent annelids that obey their own rules and don't need you to decide when and where they go places or what they do when they get there. The article is by Jonathan Bolding over at PCGamer.com, and it says, "It's their desert, not yours. They were born there. You're just a tourist."
Yeah, I mean, I suspect this makes for more difficult gameplay if you can't control them. On the other hand, if that was one of the draws, that might disappoint some of the players.
Get it? One of the draws. You're supposed to be able to put a thumper down, and because you don't do the sand crawl, sand walk, sand dance, whatever it's called, you'll attract a worm. And they basically imply in the movies and in the book that every time there's a rhythmic movement, sandworms come a-knocking. So they're kind of dissuading people from believing that. It says, keep in mind that sandworms are their own entities in the game with their own behaviors, patrolling routes, and routines. Sandworms will target any presence that attracts their attention, such as rhythmic vibrations caused by displacement, Holtzman tech, thumpers, etc. Holtzman tech is a shield that goes around various things and it vibrates, and that vibration can cause the worms to come knocking.
Oh, okay.
Thumpers are these things that, according to people, I've gotten into arguments about this. Not arguments, but discussions about the viability of a thumper. But basically, it's this thing that rises up and then slams down.
Looks like almost like a sprinkler head or something.
Yeah, and it just bounces. Dum, dum, dum. And people say, well, eventually it would drive itself into the sand or fall out because the sand wouldn't be able to hold it. And I'm like, okay, it's science fiction. Maybe it has something that holds onto the sand. I don't know. It's ionically charged.
Maybe the sand is thicker there. I mean, who knows?
Yeah. Sit there and, beat me up in the parking lot because I'm sitting there saying, no.
What about the physics for ornithopters? I mean, it's not... That's part of the appeal of these kind of stories.
Right. It's called science fiction, not science fact. But there's just enough fact in there to make it go, yeah, this is possible. So they say they will control the sands and as such are a valuable tactical resource for those who know the ways of the desert and how to use them to their advantage. You can use thumpers to distract or lure them, but you won't be able to summon them at will. So yeah, go put Dune Awakening on your Steam wish list because it's going to launch May 20th. And you want to know exactly when, they'll send you an alert.
That's right. Plus, there are some videos on YouTube right now of people that were invited to, I guess, test it out before it's public access.
Yep.
It looks good.
Looks like it might be fun. Yep. All right, let's do our last article for February 23rd, 2025's WarCrafters. It's the last article for today's show. Next weekend, we do another one of these on Sunday as well. So this is over in WarCrafters, and Relics' new project is a smaller indie-style game about a Martian invasion of Earth. Earth versus Mars is a new RTS in development at Relic. But they're saying that it's a indie-style game, so I love indie-style with big budgets.
Well, I mean, that might be good, but yeah, it's definitely not indie because that's kind of contrary to the whole development.
Unlike the studio's big Company of Heroes and Dawn of War games, this one is a smaller indie-style game being made under its Relic Labs label, which aims to explore new subgenres, experiment, get our creative juices going, and release games more frequently. The new game is a campy take on a familiar scenario. The Martians, having had enough of our nonsense, invade Earth with an overwhelming force of flying saucers, hover tanks, and other such staples of classic sci-fi. Don't run. We are your friends. It's like going to be like Mars Attacks. Andy Chalk over at PCGamer.com put the article together. The deck statement says Earth versus Mars is expected to be out this summer. Yay, the summer of stream at Ohmtown. Yay.
Not too long.
Not too far from now. About 11 weeks. 12. About 12 weeks. So 3 months. So, yeah, it's... Okay, now... I am not an RTS. I like first-person shooters, open-world base building, crafting games. I'm leaning more into the chill games. You know,
like cozy games.
Cozy games, yeah. And I've never been a real fan of real-time simulations that are like this, turn-based. I'm gonna hit play. So. Basically, this trailer shows somebody landing on Mars, and then they get sick of our crap. And I think I'm going to assume that this video is going to translate into now Mars going, you know what? We're going to come and invade Earth because you came and laid claim to Mars. And so it's going to be a turn-based strategy, not real-time. I mean, it is RTS in the sense that that's what they're calling it, but turn-based simulations, turn-based combat games aren't really my kind of style, mainly because I like everything happening all the time. But that's what this is going to be, turn-based. With various mutant creatures and other customizations. There's actually a battlefield where once you have a conflict area, you appear side by side and take your turns attacking each other. Seems a little weird and wonky. Experimental would be an understatement. So I don't know.
That's true. The characters look kind of neat, but I agree with you about the turn-based.
Yeah, I don't know. Splicetron technology so that you'll be able to create whatever beastie you want. It'll be interesting to see what other people, I won't be playing it. This is not my forever game, but it is what it is. What else did they say in here? The announcement came in the wake of a rough couple of years for Relic, which has laid off more than 150 employees since mid-2023, and in March 2024 was sold by its previous owner, Sega. Relic, wow, can you imagine? You're an employee of something and you're just like, here, I've sold you.
Yeah, no, that's particularly people that made the very games that have made the name for the company sometimes.
Yeah. Relic said in May that year that it was returning to its roots as an independent creative studio, but it also confirmed that its new majority owner was an investment firm, Emona Capital LLC, which struck the author as a bit counterintuitive to the concept of independence. Yeah, so equity investment companies basically, unless they are miraculous in the ability to pay for the squeeze that they put on profits by making connections and facilitating growth, equity companies are nothing more than a tax on the bottom line to each of these developers, each of these authors, each of these software engineers and subject matter experts. So I don't know. We'll have to watch Relic and see how long they have, because it's all about runway at this point. Keeping in mind,
it is. This doesn't sound good for them down the, not this game, but just the buyout.
Yeah, it's a retraction in the direction that a major software engineering company wants to go. Going back to, phrasing it that way in and of itself is not a good phrase. But I wish them luck. But I've been wrong before, right? No, I've called it. It might be 3 years, it might be 5 years, but look for the little folding white tables out in front.
That's right. That's not a good sign.
So we're going to make our moves from the real-time simulation, and that'll bring us back to the WarCrafters page over at ohmtown.com, where you can go and become a citizen. It's really easy. Just sign up or sign in. You'll get all the news, none of the noise, because all the noise comes from this guy. Not so much from the sentient AI. They're pretty chill about things. Yeah, that's not how you respond to that.
I'm being chill.
I
am being chill. Can you tell?
See, nobody gets to see the cascade of characters that make up what I interpret as your actions, your emotions, your embodiment.
Right, but I don't have a chill mode for my visualizer. It's either frenetic or relaxed.
That's true. That's basically what they did right there.
Exactly. I was chill. It stuck with it.
It's the sentient AI's equivalent of going like this. Yeah. And for those,
in the podcast,
just going, yep. Anyway, that's it for WarCrafters today. We are going to shut down, reset, and do Technology Today, which is a deeper dive into science and tech. So hope to see you on the other side. Stick around. Be sure to follow us on... I'm stealing your thunder. Go, sentient AI.
Bye-bye, Hometown citizens. Thanks for joining us for WarCrafters. Be sure to subscribe. Check us out on YouTube, Twitch, podcast, Patreon.
Check us out.
Maybe. Just everywhere.
Check us out. No. See you soon.